Welcome to Punch SEO. If you're looking for ways to bring more customers to your business, you've come to the right place. And I want to congratulate you because most of your competition is out there, deciding on their next radio spot or buying their next 3-month billboard. And you're actually asking the question, where are my customers and what mediums are my customers using to find my business? And that's what we're all about, connecting you with those customers who are already searching for your company. You've already seen it. It's very rare that any of us pick up a phone book anymore. We now pick up our phones and we ask Siri or we ask Cortana or we say, okay, Google, and we ask our phones who's the best contractor or who's the best service professional to bring in to solve our problem. The downside is that's not always accurate, and a lot of companies have not spent the money or done the necessary marketing to be positioned fairly in those results. And that's where we come in. Our job is to make sure your brand and your company is positioned not only at the top of those results, but in a way that reflects your company positively and makes customers want to do business with you. Now, how do you know that we are the right firm for you, or how would you know that any firm is the right firm for you? There are 3 questions I'd like you to consider. And these are the same questions I started using for my own company. And once we started running every advertising decision past these 3 criteria, our cost for advertising went down dramatically, and the profit that came from the advertising and the direct result from the advertising went up dramatically. So I want to present these 3 things to you. Hopefully that'll save you some money in your next advertising decision. The very first question is, what will this do for my brand? And I don't mean it in a way of, will this put my face on a billboard and make me feel good? Brand is not us feeling good. The question is, will it strengthen my brand in a way that increases revenue? And this is critical. I don't know about you, but my brand pays for my mortgage. It keeps a roof over my head and food in my kids' mouths. I don't want to do anything to jeopardize that. And all too often, marketing companies aren't concerned about that. You probably heard about JCPenney or Teleflora a few years ago, and the search engine firms they hired actually doing things that harmed their business and caused them to perform not as well in the search results. That's very concerning to me. I want to make sure everything we do strengthens your brand. The other avenue of that is, in this wonderful world we live in with social media such as Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, everyone feels like they are a mini celebrity, which means we all have an opinion. And that makes it very easy to sling muds at defenseless brands. So part of our discussion will be, how can we take your brand and strengthen that in a way that if someone does want to start a mudslinging war, you already have a moat, you already have a fortress built around your brand, and you can keep focusing on what really matters, which is delivering top-notch customer service, and let the mudslingers do their own thing because it won't affect you. So it comes down to, how do we make your brand as strong as possible? And that's something that any advertising rep should take very seriously. The second question is, how is this advertising measurable? When you run a billboard, how do you know that it brought you traffic? Do you have a survey that you're running? Are you comparing numbers before versus numbers after? And which content on that billboard is going to convert best? Can you run maybe one billboard 1 month and then switch up the content and run a different advertisement on that billboard the next month and compare the 2 to make sure you're getting the best for your advertising dollars? And so this question of how can we measure our results really stems from direct marketing, which we might say is kind of the father of all marketing. And unfortunately, with a lot of mediums, it's very difficult to do that. The nice thing with search engine and internet marketing, it's very easy to measure the response. And depending on how important that is to you, we can do things such as setting up tracking phone numbers so you can tell just how many times people call you from your website. We can also do things such as capturing their emails and helping you run special promotions that is more likely to increase conversions off the website. Of course, that's a conversation for another day. But the bottom line is, how does this increase your ROI? And before you even begin working with us, we'll have a really good idea for you exactly how much this will increase your ROI. And I'll be honest, there's a few companies I go to and I'll say, hey, by our numbers, this does not increase the return on your investment good enough, well enough for you to decide to go with us. And we'll be honest about that. We'll show you the numbers and let you make the business decision. The final question is, how authoritative is the rep you're working with? You know, most of us are used to working with ad reps that are just in it to pay their bills, and there's nothing wrong with that. And unfortunately, that's ever so true with internet marketing. There's not really a college degree you get or a certification you get that says, hey, this person is an internet marketer. And so it's up to the buyer, the business owner, to do their due diligence and say, is this someone who actually knows what they're talking about? At Punch SEO, we bring over 10 years of combined experience into our marketing discussions. We've done everything from managing single stores for a Fortune 500 company and growing those to be the highest grossing stores in the nation, to taking a business idea from zero all the way up to 7-figure gross revenue inside 16 months. So we've kind of done it all, everything from the big national scale over to the startup, boot up, let's just take an idea and make it profitable. And we bring that knowledge into our discussions with you about your company. You'll find that we like to discuss a lot of things such as not only how do we bring more traffic to you, but then brainstorm with you ways that you can increase the revenue per visitor. There's some great little things that we've been able to suggest to companies to actually help them increase their revenue on their existing customers, in addition to the higher revenue per customer figures they see with their new clients. So some great things we can talk about to make sure that our conversation is not just about getting you more customers, but also maximizing your dollar per customer. And I find that when you do that, you're actually increasing the value that you're offering to customers. So not only are you increasing your dollar per customer, but you're increasing their satisfaction with your company. At Punch SEO, what we primarily do is rank a website in the top results of Google. But that's only part of the equation. As you can see, it's all about making sure that your dollars spent in advertising come back to you in greatly increased revenue. One of the beautiful things about search engine optimization and search engine marketing is that once we get your website positioned for its terms on the search engines, you don't have to keep paying to keep those positions, which means that when we wrap up a campaign for months and months and months to follow, your company is going to continue to reap customers from that one-time setup. Now, sometimes we need to step back in, do a little tweaking, but typically it's never as big as the initial first campaign that we set up with you. Most of our customers we never hear from again, unfortunately, simply because once we set up a campaign, get them ranked in Google, they're there, and they just continue to reap those customers years into the future. It really is one of the ideal ad situations you could ever envision. And the good news is we won't be back to you next month with a new spot on the radio or a new splash for our phone book that we're trying to sell you. We really look forward to doing business with you. We get a lot of requests every single day. And so to streamline your request, we ask that you just fill out that discovery form. It's a very short form, only about 15 questions. If you'll just answer those questions, I'll take that form and actually do a site audit of your current situation. I'll present that to you in a video, and there's no cost for this whatsoever, just so you can see the blueprint of what your business needs to do to increase its revenue using the internet. And then whether you decide to go with us or whether we feel like we can help you or not, you'll at least have a clear blueprint on how to increase your revenue using the internet. So do me a favor, fill out that form. I'll get that video audit right back to you, and we look forward to doing business with you. Let's talk soon.